All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er video as we talk a little bit about the NFC West and how the NFC West fared here in week number 12. And of course, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle. The best barbecue in all of Northern California is Pig and a Pickle. Check them out. They're in Corte Madera. They're in Emeryville. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out, and they do run out. So get there early, get some brisket chili. Tell them that Krug sent you. They're also opening a location in Petaluma. So that is opening. And of course, check us out. We'll be in Corte Madera on December 7th for the Krug Show meet and greet at Pig and a Pickle during the bye week. I'll be there during that Sunday of the bye week, watching football, hanging out. And you're all welcome to stop by. We're going to give away a Ricky Pearsall autographed helmet, mini helmet. That was given to us by Anthony Catania and the good people at Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles. And we're just going to have some barbecue and hang out and watch some football and just hang. So no real, it's kind of an open house, no real serious itinerary. Just stop by, say hello. We'd love to see you out there at Pig and a Pickle in Corte Madera on December 7th. As I said, we'll be there all day during the bye week. Watching non-Niner ball. All right, let's talk a little bit about the Rams. The Rams, 34-7 winners on Sunday Night Football over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Wow, the Rams are playing really good ball. They jumped out early. They led 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. It was 31-7 at halftime, and only the one field goal was all that was scored in the second half by the Rams. Tampa Bay was shut out in the second half. Now, Baker Mayfield started. He went 9 of 19 for 41 yards, had a touchdown through 2 picks. Got hurt. Teddy Bridgewater came on. He went 8 for 15 for 62 yards. The Rams piled up 4 sacks in the game. Stafford was 25 of 35, 273 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Stafford is having just a phenomenal year. Best year of his career. He really is. He's playing great. He's not turning it over. You look at the year he's had. He's thrown for 2,500 yards, 27 touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions. He's minimized his mistakes. I mean, a younger Stafford would make more mistakes and turn it over and this and that, but not him, not this year. His projected stats are 46 touchdowns, 3 picks for the year. Wow, that would be incredible. So he's playing very, very well, not turning it over. That's what he's kind of known for throughout his career. He's always had a great arm, but he'd always have a huge turnover. And when you pressure him, he would almost always turn it over. But not anymore. Now he'll throw that ball into the ground. He doesn't give away possession of the football. So Stafford is playing it when he's playing at this level. He's hard to beat, and it's not that they have the greatest surrounding cast, but it's good enough. Kyron Williams and Blake Corum ran 19 times combined for 70 yards, so 3.7 a carry. I mean, it's a nominal rushing attack. It's not nothing great. As far as the rest of their defense, their back end of their defense, it's okay. It's okay. It's nothing spectacular, but what they do have is Stafford, and they've got Puka Nacua. He had 7 catches for 97 yards on 11 targets. You got Devontae Adams still, here hanging out. He's got, 8 targets tonight. He made 5 catches for 62 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's a really tough cover. And then you got Colby Parkinson, the veteran tight end, is coming into his own. He caught 4 balls tonight for 41 yards and a touchdown. Davis Allen, the tight end from Clemson's a talented guy. Tyler Higbee, Terrence Ferguson. They used Jordan Whittington. He caught 3 balls today for tonight for 17 yards. So, the Bucs, of course, didn't have Godwin, didn't have Mike Evans, but they haven't had those guys for a lot of the year. They've been beat up and still rolling. Emeka Egbuka was held to 3 catches for 32 yards on 8 targets. Yeah, they threw Egbuka the ball 8 times. He only caught 3 of them. So the Rams really did a nice job there. And then, Tampa only had 1 sack. They only had 3 hits on the quarterback. I mean, if you can only sack Stafford one time, if you can only hit him 3 times all night, he's just going to sit back there and just carve you up. And that's what he did. And then the Rams have enough pass rush themselves right now where once they get a lead, they're a very difficult team to come back from, or can come back on, I should say. Kobe Turner had 2 sacks. Jared Verse had 2 sacks. Those 2 guys made up their 4 sacks. They also had 6 hits on the quarterback. Those 2 guys had 2 hits each, and then 1 for Braden Fisk, 1 for Josiah Stewart. So, for the most part, the Rams, Poona Ford's been a really nice addition to their run defense. He's just stretched out their defensive line. And then Nate Landman has been a great revelation for them as well. Landman, 7 more tackles in this game. He signed the extension, 5 of them solo. He had a tackle for a loss. I mean, that was a really nice addition. They've gotten great play out of their safeties. Cam Curl and Cam Kinchins, the former Hurricane Kinchins, and Curl played at Arkansas. They played for the Commanders. They're getting really good play out of those 2 safeties. So they got 2 really good safeties that are playing well. Emmanuel Forbes is playing well. Emmanuel Forbes is playing well. The Rams had 2 interceptions tonight. Kobe Durant got 1 and Emmanuel Forbes got 1. And, Forbes was another guy. He was a great player at Mississippi State. Super skinny, but one of the great break on the ball corners we've seen. This guy had 6 pick sixes in his college career. He's got a great break on the football. He goes to the Commanders, took a little while to adjust to the league, the physicality of the league, probably had a couple of little injuries initially, didn't quite work out in Washington. What does Les Snead do? He's right there. When Washington's looking to move Forbes, he's right there to catch Forbes. And sure enough, Forbes has emerged in Los Angeles as the player that the Commanders thought they were getting in the draft out of Mississippi State. So he's really helped. And that was a nice little pickup. So just kind of an opportunistic pickup there by Les Snead to pounce on Emmanuel Forbes, who had a lot of potential, and anybody could have had him. And I don't think the Rams battled too many other teams to get in line to grab Emmanuel Forbes. And what he has is tremendous ball skills. And, interceptions are a big deal. And they're really a big deal. Who gets interceptions? Guys who get interceptions in college typically get interceptions in the pros. And Emmanuel Forbes got a lot of interceptions in college. So I was hoping that the Niners would grab him once the Commanders said goodbye. But no, he went to the Rams, Les Snead, and, had the vision. And now he's benefiting from having that vision. So, the Rams, they have just enough. They got Stafford and some good weapons. They've got just enough of a run game, just enough of an offensive line, just enough of a special teams unit to get by. Couple real great strengths. Stafford, some great receivers, a great D-line, and then everybody else is, just good enough. And then they came up with a few extra guys. A guy like Nate Landman has been a huge, huge add for them for sure. I mean, did the Rams run the ball really powerfully tonight? No. 3-7 a carry, 19 rushing attempts for 70 yards, 3-7 a carry. Did they totally shut down Tampa's run? No, not really. Tampa doesn't have a strong rushing attack, but they still ran for over 4 yards a carry. The Rams didn't make a lot of mistakes. There weren't a lot of penalties in this game, period. Rams only had 4, though. Only 4 penalties all night for the Rams, and they had twice as many as Tampa. Tampa only had 2. But the big thing is the Rams don't turn it over. And if they don't turn it over, you can't turn it over. Otherwise, they're plus 1 or plus 2, and that's what happened tonight. Tampa turned it over twice. Rams didn't turn it over at all. And there you go. There's the difference in the ball game. I mean, the Rams are plus 2 on the turnover margin at the end of the night. And that's hard to overcome. That's hard to overcome. So, the Rams, as I said, Stafford's terrific, having a great year, maybe the MVP of the league. And Puka and Devontae and those tight ends and Kyron Williams give them just enough weapons to be really, really good. And then they can produce points. The Rams can produce points. And then defensively, they've got a great defensive line. So it's a well-conceived team. It really is. It's a smartly, built team, because it's a team that's, hey, we're going to get a lead with our explosive offense, and then we're going to lean on our killer defensive line to just kind of ride that home. And the rest of our roster, linebackers, secondary, O-line, running backs, everything else is just kind of, it's all right. But we're so good at quarterback, and we're so good in our passing game, and we're so good offensively. We're going to put up 30-plus points, and then we're going to lean on our defensive line and let them shut the door. And that's what the Rams do, and that's what they did in this game. 34-7. Rams beat the Buccaneers, and that's an impressive win when you consider how well Tampa's played this year. And I know Baker was knocked out, so that had something to do with it. Otherwise, Buccaneers would have probably scored 30 as well. It would have been 34-30 or 34-28. But the Rams were still going to win. Just with Mayfield going down, made for a one-sided game. But the Rams might be the best team in the NFL. They may be the best team. It makes me sick to say that, but they may be the best team. Let's take a look at the rest of the NFC West. But before we do, let's have a word from our sponsor, Factor. Today's video is sponsored by Factor, the ready-to-eat meal service that helps me stay on track with my fitness and wellness goals, even during the busiest football weeks. Here's the deal. Factor delivers fresh, never frozen, chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals straight to your door. They're ready in just 2 minutes. No prep, no cleanup, no stress. I've been using Factor to stay consistent with my routine, especially on long show days when I don't have time to cook. My favorite meals are the smoky barbecue chicken and the green chili pork, packed with flavor and protein, but still super balanced. What I love most is how Factor makes clean eating easy and sustainable. You can pick from plans like Protein Plus, Calorie Smart, Keto, Vegan, Veggie, and there are over 100 rotating weekly options, from dinners and salads to breakfast and shakes. It's premium food for real life. That's right. Premium food built for real life. Fresh ingredients, no refined seed oils or artificial colors, and ready to fuel your performance. So if you want to stay consistent, save time, and eat food that actually tastes great, head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code LarryFB50 to get 50% off your first Factor box plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's right. That's code LarryFB50 at factor75.com to get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. All right, thanks to Factor for sponsoring the Krug Show. And let's take a look at the rest of the NFC West and how they fared here in Week 12, and then we'll take a look at next week's opponent for the 49ers. First, we'll start with the Cardinals. The Cardinals lost at home to the Jaguars. A lot of people thought, oh, man, the Cardinals are going to circle the wagons. I heard a lot of the pregame, oh, watch out for the Cardinals. They are tired of losing. They're tired of the penalties and this and that. Well, you know what? It's not as easy as just snapping your fingers. And they had Jacksonville there, and Arizona led 14-10 at halftime. But the Jags, came back in the second half and beat them 27-24 in overtime. As Trevor Lawrence throws 3 touchdowns, 3 picks. Jacoby Brissett threw for 317 yards and 1 touchdown, but was sacked 6 times. 6 sacks of Jacoby Brissett. I mean, look at the difference. Last week against the Niners, they didn't sack him at all. He dropped back to pass 57 times. He didn't get sacked at all. This week, he drops back to pass 49 times against Jacksonville, and he gets sacked 6 times. I mean, that's the difference in the pass rush. Jacksonville had 15 hits on Jacoby Brissett today and 6 sacks and 11 tackles for loss. So, I mean, they absolutely, got back there. I mean, Dennis Gardeck had 1.5. Antonio Johnson had 1. Devin Lloyd had 1.5. Josh Hines-Allen had 1. Davon Hamilton had 1. I mean, they just got after him. They got a bunch of hits on the quarterback. Devin Lloyd had 5 hits on the quarterback by himself. Dennis Gardeck had 4 hits on the quarterback by himself. So, I mean, talk about the difference between a good defensive line and the 49ers. The Niners got 13 pressures, but they got very few hits and only one sack. Um, the Jacksonville Jaguars got 15 hits and 6 sacks. That's just an unbelievable difference. So, but yeah, so the Cardinals lose at home. Michael Wilson had another good game, 10 catches for 118 yards. Trey McBride, 9 catches for 79 yards. Greg Dortch caught 6 balls, including a touchdown. But Arizona couldn't run it, 2.8 a carry on 20 carries. And Jacksonville ran it much better, almost 5 yards a carry for Jacksonville. And that's it right there. I mean, very even game if you look at the box score. Actually, Arizona had more first downs, 25 first downs to 18 for Jacksonville. Jacksonville had more total yards, so 371 to 326. The big difference was rushing. Jags outrushed Arizona 134 to 55. That was the big one. And both teams completed or committed 7 penalties. So they still had a healthy amount of penalties. Amazingly, Jacksonville wins the game with 4 turnovers. And they were -4 because Arizona didn't have any. Now, you don't see that often. Arizona dominated the football for 37 minutes and 26 seconds and were +4 in turnovers, and they were at home and lost. I mean, that right there, that's unbelievable. To lose a game like that just shows how bad you are. Travis Etienne had a 15-yard reception for a touchdown in this game. Cam Little hit a 52-yard field goal. Jacoby Myers had a 10-yard reception for a touchdown in the game. Parker Washington had a 9-yard pass from Trevor Lawrence for a touchdown. And Cam Little hit a 52-yard field goal as well. So Arizona, that's an amazing thing to be +4 in turnovers and to dominate the time of possession the way they did and to still lose the game. Just shows that you're just a bad football team. So the Arizona loses, and they, what can you say? I mean, Jonathan Gannon and Monty Ossenfort, they may be a good, head coach GM combo, but it sure doesn't show yet, right? They're 3-8, 1-5 at home, just having a nightmarish year. So that's the Cardinals. Then the Seahawks also played in Week 12, and the Seahawks were more successful. Seahawks beat the Titans in Nashville 30-24. Sam Darnold threw 2 touchdowns, and Seattle ran really well in this game. They ran for 5.7 a carry, and they held Tennessee to no rushing at all. Tennessee had 2.9 yards a carry. Cam Ward was 28-42 for 256 and a touchdown. Tennessee's leading receiver was Gunnar Helm. JSN is just having an unbelievable year for Seattle. 8 catches on 10 targets for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns. So Rashid Shaheed played, but he didn't do anything as far as he had 2 targets, didn't catch the ball. But Seattle's defense, once again ruled the day. They had 4 sacks, 11 hits on the quarterback. Derek Hall had a couple. Leonard Williams Leonard Williams has been a tremendous addition by John Schneider. He had a sack. He had 4 hits on the quarterback. He had 4 tackles, 3 of them solo. He's just a force up front. He has been a really good addition to Seattle's front because he can play in a lot of different spots. He's versatile. He's a huge guy. He's got a great motor. He just keeps rolling. Tennessee only had 1 sack and 3 hits on Sam Darnold, so they really didn't affect the quarterback much. And Seattle gets 3 field goals from Jason Myers, and they 12 points overall, 3 extra points and 3 field goals from Myers, and they win on the road. Seattle's 5-1 on the road this year. They're really good on the road. They're almost better on the road. Tennessee hasn't won a home game all year. Tennessee's 1-10, and they're 0-6 at home. Seattle rolls to 8-3. So Seattle has got a good defense, and when Sam Darnold takes care of the football, they're going to be tough to beat. Just really as simple as that. If Sam Darnold doesn't turn it over because of their defense, they're going to be tough. They're going to be tough. Now, it's not an overwhelming offensive line. It's not a great rushing attack. But if they can play from ahead and run the ball, and Sam Darnold doesn't have to lead them from behind and throw balls into tight windows, and make plays against pressure and that kind of thing. Seattle's can beat anybody. If they got to play from behind and Sam's got to make it happen, I think turnovers are coming. So ultimately, I think he'll fall short of the Super Bowl. But they got a shot. They got a good shot. All right, let's talk a little bit about Cleveland, because for the Niners, next up on the schedule are the Cleveland Browns. Week 13, we'll see the 49ers on the road in Cleveland against the Browns. This is the last game before the bye week. Niners in Cleveland against the Browns. 49ers already are considered to be about a 6-point favorite in that game. But let's talk a little bit about the Browns, because I thought they were kind of one of the surprise teams of this week. They went to Vegas and they just slapped the Raiders. I mean, the Raiders are bad, but it was Shedeur Sanders' first start, and Shedur's numbers didn't look great. 11 of 20, 209 yards. He had a touchdown. He had one pick. He was sacked once, but and he ran once or I guess he was sacked for the -1 yard. It wasn't really a run, but he did have a downfield pass play that was very impressive. He hooked up with Isaiah Bond on a 52-yard pitch and catch. That was absolutely a perfect dime. So that, they're going to be an interesting team, and they've got Isaiah Bond, you got Harold Fannin, you got Jerry Jeudy, Malachi Corley. They threw a couple passes out of the backfield to Dylan Sampson, the rookie running back from Tennessee. Quinshon Judkins is still running well. In this game he was held to 2.9 a carry, but he did score 2 rushing touchdowns. But the story with the Browns is their wide 9 defense, their Jim Schwartz-led defense. Carson Schlesinger led them with 11 tackles. Tyson Campbell, who they traded for from Jacksonville, had 10 tackles. Devin Bush had 9 and a sack. But I'm looking at their sack total. They had 10 sacks. Myles Garrett had 3. Here's the, if you want to talk about, the move that this offseason and what some of the moves the Niners made, one of them that was just absolutely horrible decision was letting Malik Collins and Leonard Floyd go, because you had 2 veteran guys who could rush the passer, and you just let them go. And there was no real advantage in doing so. You just kind of like, we're going young. Maybe you saved a couple bucks along the way. Malik Collins had 3 tackles, two solo, 2.5 sacks in this game, 3 hits on the quarterback, from the interior. That's really good. They had, once again, 10 sacks and 20 hits on the quarterback. But Malik Collins would have helped the Niners. And, just to let him walk away when you really don't have, you're not getting a lot of sack production inside, and you had Collins under contract. That was kind of the odd maneuver of the offseason. Why did they say goodbye to Floyd? Why did they say goodbye to Collins? Just to go younger, just to go a little cheaper, save a few bucks. And now watching Collins, be productive this year. He's been really good for the Browns. So now the Niners have to deal with Myles Garrett. He had 5 tackles, 4 solo, 3 sacks, 4 tackles for loss, 6 hits on the quarterback, all by himself. This guy's got more sacks, a lot more sacks than the 49ers. This guy's got 18 sacks in the year. The Niners have like 12 as a team. So their defense right now is cooking, absolutely cooking, and it's going to be tough. 49ers on the road, short week, flying across the country, taking on this super tough Browns defense in the cold, mucky, weather of December or late November in Cleveland. It's going to be a huge challenge. It's going to be a huge challenge to beat the Browns in Cleveland. So not that Shedeur looks all that great. He doesn't, and he's going to play inconsistent. But can the Niners do anything against this defense? I mean, if this defense can get 10 sacks and 20 hits on the quarterback, is Brock Purdy even going to make it through that game, or is he going to get knocked out? So, I mean, that game is going to be a tough one. And that's coming up next after the Carolina game. All right, that does it for our breakdown. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle. Thanks to Factor. Thanks to all of you guys for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube.